Do the gang, do the gang, do the gang. Do the gang, do the gang, do the gang. Lotiko Gang and Duthi. My name is Teddy O, and we're just about to have a conversation with the General Manager, Bolt Kenya. And by the way, he serves in Tanzania and Uganda as well. His name is Dimmy Kanyankole. Let's get to know more about Bolt in a little bit. Well, thank you, Dimmy, for giving us this opportunity to have a sit down with you. Maybe to just start us off, what's been the journey of Bolt since its inception?
Okay, thanks, Teddy. So we launched in Kenya in 2017. So we have been here for 7 years or so. We launched first in Nairobi. We operated for quite some time, then expanded into other cities in Kenya. So we are present in Mombasa, present in Kisumu, Eldoret, Naivasha, and we still have some plans to expand further. So today, we are one of the leading retailing companies in Africa. So in Kenya, we operate multiple categories. So we have cars, different varieties, where we have economy, standard, XL, depending on the size and the need of the passengers. Then we also have boda, the common boda. So yes, we have the normal boda and the electric boda. Then we have been innovating quite enough. So you can see some other variations such as Bolt Send for parcel deliveries and stuff. So the journey has been well so far. Positive reception from all the driver partners, because like the way we work, we cannot work without the driver partners. So the first job is always getting the very committed drivers on board, train them, onboard them, train them, and ensure they can be able to deliver the service at the level we want.
Yeah, and speaking of onboarding, what is the process of onboarding a new driver?
For us to operate in Kenya, we have to be compliant with the regulations. So today we operate under NTSA. So for us to onboard a driver, number one, they need to have a vehicle, and the vehicle should be fit for public transport fit. That's a PSV badge. They should have a PSV badge. The driver should have a driving license, a valid driving license that allows them to do commercial business as well. Then number two, the driver should have a certificate of good conduct. They have never been involved in any criminal cases whatsoever.
Correct.
Then now we'll onboard them, we'll train them. Then also the vehicle as their requirement as well. The vehicle should be fit, should be insured. So we need an insurance to confirm that this driver can indeed work at Bolt. Then now we'll train them. So training, there is in-person training that happens at our office and through various agents that we have on ground, but also we have in-app training. So the moment a driver signs up, finishes the, creates their own account and stuff, before they take a first ever trip, they have to go through the training. So they're being trained about how to serve our customers, that's passengers, how to use the platform, that's how do you accept a trip, how do you finish the trip, the best things to do, the things not to do on our platform, the payment methods that a customer can use. If you have any issue during the trip or after the trip, how do you report it, and stuff like that.
And with all this, Dimmy, I'm sure you guys have encountered a couple of challenges here and there. What are some of these challenges, and how have you been able to address them as Bolt?
Yeah, so the industry is evolving, and so is the challenges.
Correct.
So face challenges from different angles. So at some point we have some challenges with the regulators, where we normally sit with the regulators and as well address it as an industry challenge. Then we normally have some challenge as well from drivers, where either drivers do not understand some of the basic things to do at Bolt. Then we have to go through the training. Also have challenges from riders or passengers, because as you can imagine, the industry started in Kenya around 7-8 years ago. So it's still new for most people. So it's challenging for both drivers and the passengers, but we evolve and solve them. So some of the challenges could be safety challenges, where either a driver is involved in an accident, for example, or any assault with the passenger. Then now we address them together with our partners, and partners could be even the police, to ensure the cases are closed on time and every party gets treated fairly.
Well, and some of these complaints, we get to see them on social media, where people just throw complaints either on X, Facebook, or Instagram, and we come across them on a day-to-day basis. But is that the right channel, or there is a specific form of lodging these complaints? Do they do that through the app, or how do they go about it?
Okay, social media is not the right channel to start off. Yeah, but we have our like a robust in-app support system, where any rider during the trip or even after the trip, any passenger or any driver during the trip or after the trip can report the particular trip. So the moment they report, we have our safety team 24/7 working to address any issue that can or must have happened. So today we see, if I tell you how much we have invested since last year, we have seen even the cases of safety and any reporting going down by 50% also. So we have reduced substantially the frequency of the issues and what innovation have we put in place. So today, any passenger or driver have access to SOS button on our application. So basically, SOS button, what it does is, if you tap it, someone will call you within 3 minutes. Whoever tapped it, whether it's a driver or passenger, number one, to understand whether there is an issue and if they need any support. So any support could be security support, where we can dispatch security, or it could be ambulance support, for example, if there was an accident in that situation, right? Then if it's not a major issue, then now we can fix it internally. Then number two, we have what we call trip sharing ability. So should you be in a position where you are moving to a place where you're not very familiar with, you can still share your trip with your loved ones. So everyone now can track and say, okay, Teddy is moving from this location to this location. This is where Teddy is now. Even if your phone were to go, to go off, at least some people can still track your trip. Then we have what we call trip anomaly. So trip anomaly actually is we track every movement and within every order. So in case you are moving from point A to point B and the estimate was to, you are meant to move within 20 minutes, but for some reason your car or your vehicle has stopped for quite some time. Someone from safety team will call you to check with you whether everything is going right or not. So there is still call the driver as well to confirm why the vehicle is not moving, and if there is any safety attention to be taken, it will.
And as part of your mandate, you do talk about support to the drivers. And this support could be in the form of operations or even financially. How do you go about this?
Number one is to support them to be able to onboard. So today we are one of the players that has onboarded a lot of drivers than any player. So that's how we try to support them financially to ensure that everyone who has the vehicle and has the right to be a ride-hailing driver can come to us and onboard them on the platform. Then we train them. Then from time to time, we normally support them with the trainers from financial sectors as well, train them on the financial management. But also we partner with the other partners to see how we can now improve their earnings. Because if you're a driver, what you care much about is your earnings, right? So Bolt has invested massively in that area. Number one is to ensure that we are providing the most competitive driver earnings per hour and per day. So today Bolt provides that. Number two, we try as much as we can to work with the partners who can now provide the best financing option. So today, for example, we have one vehicle financing partner who can now provide vehicles, I mean cars, to the drivers. Bolt is even injecting a lot of money in down payments, so that now drivers can pay very little down payment and now the rest can pay month on month. Also, we are into the EV project, where now we are the leading in terms of EV operations in Kenya, where last month we celebrated having over 500 active bikes on our platform that are electric vehicles. So on the same, also Bolt is injecting over 20% of the vehicle cost to ensure that we are able to bring in more drivers on platform. We're able to support them even if they wouldn't meet the normal financing options that the market provides.
Technology, it keeps evolving. It's dynamic, keeps changing from time to time. And what are your projection growths in terms of moving forward as Bolt? Are we going to see some Bolt choppers in a few years' time or a few months' time?
Definitely. So Bolt, we pride ourselves because number one, we build it for people. So even our mission is cities for people, not cars, right?
Correct.
So we want everyone to be able to move from wherever they are going at any given time without a hassle. You don't need to own a vehicle or multiple vehicles for you to be able to move, right? So when we say we build for people, is we build the use cases that people are more willing to take. For example, we're the first one to launch the Boda in Kenya. I don't know whether you understand that. Because we realized Kenyans use Boda. Why don't put it on Bolt so that any Bolt user now can order Boda? So should any use case come across, for example, chopper, and we validate the market that there is you know, 10 teddies or 20 teddies that can be willing to take chopper, definitely we'll put. So, but in the next couple of months or in the short term is to improve the service on the platform. So you'll see a lot of improvements from category level to comfort level to ensure now, you know, you can take whatever you want to take and the Bolt will have you covered. Then later stages will evolve, because if you look at the other markets, especially European markets, Bolt is already providing some scooters, for example. So should we be in a position to launch scooters in Nairobi, I can assure you will be the first one to launch. So it really depends on different you know, stages as well, because other things really require some infrastructure development. Today, should we launch a scooter, if the roads are not clear, it won't work, right?
Correct.
So some other things we are going to be working with our partners, regulators, the governments, to ensure that we are able to launch the best solutions for them.
Yeah. I think that will really excite my producers, Chua and Sydney. The scooter bit. It will be really interesting just to see how they go about it.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
Perhaps, let me just take you back a bit. At a personal level. Do you see this is the vision that you had when you joined Bolt, and perhaps maybe a few things that you'd like to change or even see, you know, doing better in the coming years at a personal level?
Yes, okay. I didn't know the industry as wide I know it right today, and I didn't know how big or how the magnitude of the entire industry. So coming at Bolt, saving thousands of drivers, very close to millions of passengers every single day. It keeps me, you know, challenged to improve personally, but also to keep to push the company to keep evolving and innovating for better future.
What do you tell a Kenyan who takes a matatu every day, and you see them as a potential rider, if I may? What would you tell them?
So number one, would like everyone to be able to access Bolt whenever and wherever, right? For us to do that, we have to innovate on our end as well. Number one, to ensure we have enough supply. So maybe someone takes matatu because they can't get enough drivers on their end, right? So our role now is to ensure we have supply across every angle of Nairobi or Kenya, right? The number two is to continue doing the awareness, right? So if you look at today why people choose Bolt, right? Number one, there is convenience, where you can call Bolt whenever and wherever. Then they will follow you at your doorsteps, right? Then number two, ETA. ETA, I mean the estimated time of arrival. We have the best in the industry. So if you're in Nairobi, you can request and get a Bolt within 2 minutes or less, right? So if you think about someone who is taking matatu, most of the time, there is no one who lives at the stage, right? So someone has to take first transport to matatu stage, then take matatu, drop off this other stage, then take another third transport to the office or to the place they are going. So if you look at that, it's additional cost for them, because now like you're using 3 different transport to get to your office, right? Then number two, time involved. That entire cycle may take even 2x of your time if you're using Bolt. So that's what we want now to bridge. So we want you to be able now to use Bolt. You have taken shower, you are ready now to move, you request a Bolt, you will be at your doorstep within 2 minutes. You're able now to move from your home direct to where you're going, instead of just taking an offline boda, go to matatu stage, drop off matatu stage, take another boda to a station and stuff like that.
Given that you handle 3 portfolios, that is Bolt, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, comparatively, what is the market like, and what is the reception across the region?
So markets behave differently. So I'd say Nairobi is fast-paced, then followed maybe by Dar es Salaam, then Kampala. But if you come to Kenya as well, Nairobi is very different from Mombasa and Kisumu. So every market is at its own level of adoption and development. So we are seeing more people in Nairobi using more Bolt than in other areas. I can see from data, we still have some passengers who are using Bolt more than 30 times a day, a month. That means at least once a day. At least once a day. Yes. Correct. Then we have passengers who are using more than 60 times a month. That means they're using Bolt 2 and 4. We still also have some passengers who are using Bolt twice a month. That means maybe they're using it once during the paydays and stuff, right? So it's so different. But we can see, I'd say, in terms of digitization, we are moving to the right direction. Over 30% of Nairobi people At least I've used ride hailing at some point.
Correct.
The market is still big, and we want to be accessible to everyone any given time.